Okay, here we are again. Now, we're on to my favorite folk albums of 2010. We all know the deal. I'm just going to get into it and try not to take so much time from your time or day. I don't want to waste your time. Anyway, we have 11 releases on here, and I have a couple other things that I missed from the previous R&B edition of my favorite albums of 2010. Starting off, we have Frontier Ruckus with Deadmalls and Nightfalls. This focuses on life in the recession-era America, post-industrial America. They're from Detroit and Michigan, so they know what that's about, not having a job, the rough times, the hard times. It's really good. I don't know too much about a lot of these entries because I'm not too familiar with the folk albums, with folk genre in general, so forgive me. I'm going to keep moving on. Next we have Laura Marling. I speak because I can. She's a British folk revivalist. She moved from Britain down here to the States and is still continuing with what she's done very well, being a folk revivalist. Think of Led Zeppelin, their third release, Led Zeppelin 3, where they had a lot of folk undertones. Next we have Sharon Van Etten, Epic. I was a little partially disappointed by this release. And they say, why would you put it on the favorite albums then? Well, for it being 7 songs, that's an EP, in my opinion. It's still dangerous sounding. She still sounds like she needs business. But more songs would have been nice. And who knows? Her next release can improve upon this release and be better than that. Next we have what I think is the folk album of the year for 2010, Anaiis Mitchell, Hadestown, and there's a couple reasons for that. It features Bon Iver. Bon Iver's been all over this year. Kanye West done a ton of things this year. Annie DeFranco's on this. It's a folk opera, and it takes some things from mythology. Bon Iver is, I believe he's Orpheus, and I don't know who Anaiis Mitchell is, but it's Hadestown, it's Greek mythology and all that. Check it out, you won't be disappointed. And it's for almost being 60 minutes, it flows by really quick. Doesn't feel like you're wasting all your time with it. Next we have James Blackshaw, All the Falling. It's a classic contemporary chamber music release, and you would assume, because it's nothing but guitar, that's all you're going to hear on there. He incorporates more music, more instruments than that. It's a multi-instrumental release. Alasdair Roberts, Too Long in This Condition. It's Celtic, Irish traditional songs. It really connected with me. I loved it. I thought it was one of the better folk albums of the year. And it's good for repeated listens if you're, Scottish or Irish or into that. Next we have Faun Fables, Light of a Master Dark. That's one of the weirdest folk album covers I've ever seen. Like they have shocked faces or something. It has themes of shelter, life cycles, in nature, music, life, home. It has a couple sweets here and there, interludes. It's a really good flowing record. Next we have, back to Faun Fables. I think that should also be up there with Hadestown as one of the folk albums of the year, but Hadestown is going to win out. Mountain Man, May the Harbor. This debut, this is a field record, no studio polish, so you won't find anything fancy. You'll hear all the birds chirping and the crickets and all the animals. It's pretty nice. Next we have Hield. I don't know if that's right. Hopefully it is. Hopefully I'm getting the name right. It is called Looking Glass. It is also her debut. It has sparse arrangements so you can focus on her voice. It's a strong, powerful voice that takes you back. A couple more. Next we have Bonnie Prince Billy and the Cairo Gang, the Wondershow of the world. I've always thought Bonnie Prince Billy has been coming out with great releases for folk albums. In general, what he's been doing in the folk genre is great. But this is his first combination, I believe, with the Cairo gang. And if you're like me, you don't listen to too many beats in music, you listen to the lyrics, and that's what it's really for. It's an insightful, lyrical, it's a long drive CD. It's when you're driving and you just want to listen to it and focus on it, and that's that. And finally we have Josh Ritter with So Runs the World Away. This is his, I believe it's his fifth album, and it's probably one of his best albums because it borrows characters from literature, mythology, world history. It's a road trip. He has a song on there called Folk Bloodbath, and it just mixes in a whole lot of things because folk has always been about death and life, and that's the two primary themes in folk music. And in case I missed it from last time, I have two missed R&B albums from last entry. We have Corrine Bailey Rae with The Sea. This is her second album. It's better than her debut. I can't even remember the debut. That's pretty bad. It's a triumphant record. It was recorded after her fiance passed, so it's sad, but it has light at the end. And next we have Esperanza Spalding, Chamber Music Society. She is a protege of Prince, so you know what you're getting into. You're bound to have a good release when Prince is involved, about 98% of the time. Sorry, Prince. That's just how I feel. But in case you didn't notice in the parentheses, these two may pop up in Best of Jazz or Best of Pop 2010. And now that it's 2011, a lot of people making resolutions. I made one too. I'm going to be progressively productive. Just means I'm going to be writing a lot this year and doing a lot of these this year. And then hopefully I'll see you next time, around December, going over these lists again. Lastly, my next installment, something I don't like doing, is the favorite electronic albums of 2010. But you won't be disappointed because I liked quite a few releases in this field, even though I was very weary of it at first. I'll see you all next time. Barry.